What is up, guys? Again, apologize for the late start. Recording went a little longer than we had, would say anticipated. We had a lot to talk about with Chris and his new Trimax, Dune. Hopefully, everybody's having a great week. I got too much sun this weekend, if you can't tell. No, they're coming. They're coming. I don't know where they are, but they're coming. Chris might have moved from the truck to Chris might have moved from the truck to the house. So he recorded from his truck this evening. Yeah, he did, Darren. He picked up his Dune on Friday, was his delivery from Normal. Yeah. I mean, living in your R1T would be better than living in a van down by the river. That's for sure. Where are these guys at? Kevin Melnick, I saw you on. I need you to keep talking up Rivian stock, man, because every time you talk about Rivian stock, it slowly creeps up like 2 to 3.5% or more. So keep talking. That's greatly appreciated. I know most of us that are shareholders appreciate that. And yes, Alex, I'm ready for this weekend. So I just realized the reason they haven't joined is because I guess I sent them the wrong link. So stand by. Haha. Hopefully they can get on. Yeah, so what did the stock close at today? Like 16, I think it was like 1680 something, 1630 something. There we go.
Yes.
Did I really send the same link twice?
Yeah, I joined Skylar twice. I'm like, shit, I'm on the wrong one again.
Yeah, that tracks. That tracks. I
Tracks.
mean,
Tracks.
again, looking at a calendar, I don't know why. Like this live stream, I set it for today to start at 9:35, but in the notes it's like 5. What did I say? 5:31 or 5:30? You know.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
What is up, people? Golly, they've been commenting for a while.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've been here by myself for 3 minutes and 59 seconds at this point.
We'll send out the right link next time.
Man, I was
retarded.
It was that too. You have been trapped with me, man. I'm so ready for this weekend. We got we're doing a Florida Rivian Club meetup, camping, Memorial Day weekend camping in Orlando at Fort Wilderness. I'm pumped. It's gonna be hot. It's gonna be sweaty. I'm ready for a camping trip, man. I need it. I honestly, I was telling them, Chris. I figured you were moving to the house because you got tired of sitting in your truck. And that's what was taking you.
It's quiet
That's what
here.
was taking so long.
Kids. There's no kids, and there's nobody in here. It's freaking quiet.
No, nobody in there? You're not a nobody, Chris. You're not a
It's a
nobody.
nice little refuge. Is that the garage door behind you?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I
Nice
figured
little
so. I
L
thought you
L
said
shaped.
you've been backing in.
So this truck, I have my driveway is like kind of like a italics L, and it's like the R1T cannot make the turn tight enough without me going like Austin Powersing into this spot. And so I actually I have a court out I'm like the last house in the court. And so I do a full, 180 in the court, and then I back up the driveway into like my spare parking spot outside, and then I
Ah,
can just turn left. It's nice, and I just do one back up and then in. And so yeah, I have to back into my own driveway. It looks stupid as hell because I have a decent sized driveway.
I
Yeah,
back into my driveway sometimes.
yeah. But the
Most
Charger's just
times.
the Charger's
Yeah.
like directly outside where my Model S was, because that's when I was driving this Tesla, right? And so,
Hmm.
um, so it would make most sense. I guess I could run it under the vehicle if I back the truck in, but I'm not sure how I feel about backing this thing into the garage. I don't know. I have to think about it
At
if I
least you
want
have
to
a
do that or
garage
not.
big enough, man. That's amazing. I wish my
Yeah.
garage was big enough. I got a cute garage.
yeah. I can fit my big truck in my garage. So that's like
Yeah, yeah,
oversized garage.
yeah.
Pretty nice.
Yeah, on that
The-
one on your right garage door, the right side of your garage. No,
Mine?
yeah, on you.
E-
Don't
e-
isn't the right side of your garage deeper?
no,
Okay,
no.
I remember
Same
that differently.
same distance.
Hmm.
But yeah. So,
Maybe.
Chris, next time we do need to do a thing on 3D printing. I know that you've been 3D printing more and more Rivian stuff, and I'm kind of curious like what all you have planned accessories wise for the new one, but I don't know. We definitely need to do our show on that. I think
I
that'll be
printed the
super
um
cool.
I printed the armrest console organizer. That's what's in here right now. I did print one thing that I chickened out on. I was gonna do there's a sunglass clip that you can
Hmm.
install up here, but you have to take the hazard and the light fixture off to do it. And I'm like, you know what? Like
It's super
I'm,
easy.
I
I did
my
it in
luck.
mine.
I'm gonna break a clip. I'm gonna break a clip. So I
Oh,
just
yeah, I will
said,
too.
you know what? I don't need a sunglass clip there. I'm good. I have them in the charger pad. That's where I put them, and the pocket below me. I'm a sunglass hoarder. I don't know. So I have a few places I keep them.
Funny enough, um, Nikki thinks that I'm a sunglass hoarder, and I've I found this really cool company based out of Melbourne that has buy one get two pairs free, and they're fantastic. They're fantastic sunglasses. Like I love them to death. They're out of Melbourne. If I didn't already say that, super cool. So they're homegrown. Um, and then we bought two like orders of three pairs each, and actually one you can get like a mystery pair for like $15, and they just send you whatever they grab.
Okay.
And Nikki thinks I have way too many sunglasses. And then I'm like, but I only have two pairs. So, like, who got the other glasses? This was last night. And then she proceeds to pull out five pairs of Nevins, like just frame after frame after frame after frame. Like,
You,
you're the
you
sunglass
can't
hoarder.
you can't be a dad without these bad boys.
And I can't see the
For
look. What
those
is it?
readers.
These are Kirkland signature aviators.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. I love it.
Nice. I thought it was gonna be reading glasses, and then Jimmy couldn't even see them. I'm like, nice.
They fit the case fits perfectly in the little triangle storage under the seat. So that's where I keep those.
Nice. Yeah, don't
Amazing.
don't put a big body phone in there. You'll end up calling 911.
All right.
Ask
So,
Go
oh
ahead.
yeah.
Ask Nikki how she knows.
Yeah, didn't that happen in normal?
It did. It did. Yeah, the
Yeah.
McLean County sheriffs started calling Nikki while her phone was stuck in the underseat pocket.
So yeah, it hit the buttons and did the emergency call. Yeah.
Yeah.
In normal
Oh
at
yeah.
the Rivian
Oh
factory.
yeah.
Yep.
McLean. Anyways, the local county sheriff was calling Nikki after Nikki's phone dialed 911.
And so Jimmy and Chris, let's include Alex on the 3D printing call. So Alex, kind of the plan for that is all the Rivian things that we've 3D printed, and it is going to take a little bit of prep because I want to include links to all the models. So yeah, we're going to have to get our stuff together. That way we can share with the community all the cool stuff, right?
Yeah.
Freaking
I also
nerds.
did print the I printed I printed a bunch of them. Actually, I have a couple in here because I like to give things away. I don't know, when I meet other Rivian people. I printed some of these things. If you can see them, it's
Oh yeah. So to
the
lock
flap
the
the flap lock.
yeah, to lock the flap on the air
Yep.
compressor door.
Yep. These are ASA. I printed these in ASA, so these things will last forever. So I've got
So
I use two. So I'm like, you only need one, but I put two on, and I printed two more. So if anybody needs them, and I run into them, they say, "Hey, can I have those
is
hooks or whatever?"
is that a problem that people have? Like I have not run into that.
No, it just keeps the door shut. You, like, I wouldn't worry about anybody opening the door because my tunnel's already always shut. But um, my truck has seen some things, and so now that door doesn't shut like it should. It
Mm,
stays it stays open.
Yeah, I need to
So
make.
that
I
way,
gotcha.
made a video. I made a video. I just need to post it to YouTube or something that shows like mine is already like it doesn't sit quite
yeah,
right out of the factory, and then when you put these things in, it just zips them all the way in. It is flush
yeah,
once you put those things on,
right,
so it's cool.
yeah,
Yeah. And I pretty neat. Colton from Out of Spec Detailing is on with us and in the live stream or in the chat.
yeah.
So I'm curious if Colton has seen the Dune interior, and if so, what he thinks.
He was in normal today too.
Oh, well, then he probably has.
Yeah, that answers that question.
Yeah, he saw some things that they told him not to see.
Nice. Like Zoinks.
Okay, so he has seen it. Says
Yeah.
love the Dune interior. Yep, pretty cool. I do think it's my favorite. I mean, actually, not. I think it is my favorite interior of Rivian's that I've seen so far.
Yep.
What I'm gonna flip this one a little bit since it's your favorite of the interiors. Um, I had never really seen an interior like that until Lucid did it. You know, because a lot of the Lucid interiors are two tone top different than the others. What's your take on the Lucid? Did you care for those when you first saw them, or is this the first version of that you appreciate
I
based off of the colors?
I have not really paid much attention to what Lucid or and granted I've ridden in Lucids, but it wasn't something I I don't know. Maybe I didn't notice, or maybe I wasn't in one that had two-tone
Yeah,
interior. I mean,
maybe.
I don't know. Do they all have two-tone
I
interior?
don't think
I
so.
don't think
I
so.
think only the yep, like the Dream does. I believe the Dream Edition and like
Okay.
the Grand Touring. Um, but yeah,
Well,
it
so
it
what
go ahead.
well, I was just going to say, so what I really like about the Dune interior, and I've talked about this, I tend to prefer dark interiors because I
Hmm.
feel kind of more comfortable and more at peace because there's not a lot of light reflecting off, right?
Yeah.
But with the dark upper half and headliner and pillars and all the things, you get that, but then there's still like the light interior or lighter interior does look really nice. And I think the contrast is awesome
Yeah.
between the two. So,
No, agreed. I think they did a good job. One with the tan, it's not too. Uh, I wouldn't call it too creamy like the Tesla that Tesla cream
Yeah,
interior that Tesla had
yeah.
would didn't it yeah. I don't even know how to
You can talk
describe
if you
that,
don't
man.
like it. You can talk trash about it. I don't care. I like it.
No, I like the way that I like the way no,
I
I like the way that the Dune looks. I don't like the way that Tesla cream interior didn't work. And and,
don't
and
like it.
maybe it did work on certain exterior colors, but since you can only get, I think it works really well because it that interior that you have in your truck, you can only get with the Dune exterior. You know what I'm saying? So
Currently.
the two complement each other really well. Whereas, you would see, I'm trying to think of like the bad combo, like the slate gray or whatever Tesla called the old school gray on like the Model S when they had that cream interior with the cream interior, and you're like, dude, like why did you think this was a good idea?
mm,
Like the two just don't work. But I feel like that interior with that exterior work really well, and I like it.
I'm not a fan of tan interiors at all. I actually hate every tan interior except for this one. This one
Yeah,
I actually love. So
yeah.
I
yeah.
actually
And
was ragging it before, and when I saw it, I was like, this is actually one I'd buy, and look at I did.
and it's not overly tan. So like Alex is saying that it looks off white to him. How would you describe the color, Chris?
It's more ivory. I don't know, maybe ivory, like a darker. It's a darker white. I mean, it's a dark. It's a light tan. I don't know how to describe
Yeah,
colors. Light tan.
I I I would say very light tan. It doesn't have a lot of the kind of brown or orangey tones. It's just very light tan.
Yep.
Light purple.
Oh
And I
gosh.
still look at it. I still look at it. It looks freaking cool. So oat milk. Okay, I go with
Oat,
that.
oat milk.
Oat milk.
That's
Hey.
not milk, Jerry.
Dude, I can't remember what it was, but I've seen a comedy bit or memes or something about like yeah, how almond milk and oat milk and anyway, it was funny. I can't remember the punchline, so can't go there.
Good story.
Oh, Chris, Alex is saying you've got to bring it to fam camping next year.
Well, make it during my spring break or during this kid's summer, and I can't.
Oh, it's too hot.
Like first week of June, I'm in. I've only got 12,000 miles on the lease too. I did a 12,000 miles per
Ooh,
year lease. So
yeah,
You'll be all
that
right. You'll be all
that's
right.
tough.
I really only drive like to work probably 5,000, 6,000 miles a year, I think. So I will have room to spare. I only did the 12,000 lease because I had money to blow. So I
Nice.
mean, it's a reality of it, right? So like, just to give perspective, like the 10,000 mile um, lease was like the maximum down payment you could do was $26,000. The 12,000 mile lease was $28,000, and I had $28,000 in referrals, and so I'm like, I might as well just get the 12,000 mile lease, and it'll actually, you know, buy down the what's the end of lease value,
Residual.
residual. It'll
Yeah.
buy down the
Yeah.
residual, right? And so that was the
Yeah,
thought, was
yeah,
I'll just
yeah.
put more money on it now, and then I'll have a lower residual later. So if I want to buy it out, I can. So I tried to use every penny I had.
Nice. I'm excited for you, man. I know you've been to normal 100 times, but I'm sure that experience was slightly different because this time you were actually picking up your because you didn't do a factory pickup on the S, if I'm
No,
not
I didn't.
mistaken. Yeah.
Yeah. So that the difference there was they were giving free delivery at home.
Right.
One and two, I wanted to. I bought that one, so I own that one outright. And when I bought it, I'm like, it's my car. I'm gonna drive it into the ground, and I want to PPF it, and there's no way I'm gonna drive it 2 hours on interstate or 3 hours on interstate home without
Yeah.
PPF. I guess I could have gotten that temporary PPF, but I was like, they're just going to deliver it to me for free. Why would I not do that? And so I
Right.
just did it. And then this
Yep.
time they wanted $1,500. It was $1,500 to deliver to my house, and I was like, you know what? Factory tour. Factory delivery. Let's do it. And so I went, and um, I got a friend here named Eric. He drove me out there. Um, and then we went and we showed up, and they're like, "Do you want to do a factory tour?" I'm like, "Well, hell yeah." And so
Yeah.
because they aren't really doing those. I don't know if one of the guys I was with asked them ahead of time or what, but they were like, "Yeah, you can get a factory tour." And so we
Yeah. A lot
signed
of
the things. We signed the things, and then
yeah.
did the tour. So
Yeah, a lot of that team, in fact, the majority of that team was laid off in one of the last big rounds of layoffs. So that VIP esque experience no longer. I mean, it might exist. Obviously, it exists still, but don't get me wrong. But they're not doing it like you can't just show up and make it happen.
yeah,
Right.
and the funny thing is the guy that was doing my delivery when I arrived. His name was Eddie, and Eddie's like, "You look familiar. Did I deliver to your house?" I'm like holy shit, you did. And so
That's awesome.
Eddie did Eddie did both my deliveries. He delivered it here and in
Very
normal. And
cool.
so then Eddie gave us the tour, and well, we had to sign all the things. Then we got the tour.
Yeah.
And they were like, can I take pictures? And they're like, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
No.
I have plenty of pictures I posted over the last year or two from when I've been inside the factory, and they let me take pictures. But this time, definitely no
Yeah.
pictures.
No.
And so Kyle and Colton were on today, and they got to do a video and all that stuff. But I think they had exclusions as well, as you saw some of the stuff went up and came down. So
Yeah.
there's some things that Rivian's not ready to show yet.
It's good to know.
And because you signed the things, you cannot talk about those either. So,
Correct.
yeah.
Correct.
Correct. Yeah. I guess I could talk about everything that they posted. But I think
Yeah.
Kyle has a video planned soon, and we'll get that. He had Carlo give him a tour, and so I think we'll get a video of that soon, and all the things that they saw, and like how the vehicles go together, and how they make them fly, and all that stuff.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
So Alex, the out of spec video is not up yet and hasn't been up. And it'll yeah, that typically takes some time.
Yep. And so in the chat, Darren Freerix is on. I think I said his last name right. He was also there with me, and he got the tour and saw the things. And the one thing that they did post that I can comment on, because they posted it, was from the when you get in the lobby doors. I don't know if you guys have been, if anybody's been to the factory, you go in the lobby doors, and like you can see directly into the end of the line. So at the end of the line, the first line closest to the door. So let's say you're looking straight in from the factory door, lobby doors. To the right is like, I think, cafeteria. To the left, I think, is where the coffee shop is. But straight ahead, there's another glass window indoors where you see into the end of the line. And so the first line closest to that glass window is the EDV line or RCV line. The line
Hmm.
after that is R1. And then beyond that is a bunch of like everything that's at the end of line. You have vehicles that are finishing, you have vehicles that have finished and need work and adjustments and all that
Yeah.
stuff. And then just
ADAS.
past the R1 line, there was an R2 body. And so you can see that from Colton's photo. There's an R2 body. You can see it off in the distance. It's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Just to that left spot that you're talking about, because you've got ADAS, you've got like final fit and finish type
Hmm.
QA spots. Yeah. It's pretty awesome.
Yep. So
And then
it was surprising to be able to see R2 from actually if you went there today and stood in the lobby
mhm.
and didn't sign anything, you could see straight ahead and see an R2 off in the distance, just the shell. It's pretty cool.
So, was there a particular process or, just something going on in the factory, like in the manufacturing process that you thought was really cool? And I ask that because I have one, but
The building was quiet. I don't think they're actually making any the day I was there, and so
oh,
yeah,
Interesting.
that's a sad thing is like I've never actually been when the factory's alive. There's people there working and doing things, but um, like every time I go inside the factory, they've got it paused, and so this is another day where it felt like it was paused. I went on a Friday, and so yeah, I would love to see the factory actually in motion, and I think that's what um, Kyle and Colton got to see was it in motion, and they'll have some really good video, I'm sure of that.
yep.
What's
Yeah.
yours? What's yours, Skylar?
So I thought that the robotic welders were amazing. I mean, seeing
Yeah.
those machines move and sparks fly, I was like, that is freaking cool. So,
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably my favorite as well. That and then the EDVs that were on the autonomous robots that were moving throughout the
yep.
factory to their different station. Like nobody driving it on a trailer. Like it's just on its own little cart, robotically moving from point A to point B to get to its next spot to be worked.
Yeah.
Stephanie, to your question, uh, no, I think every tour is about the same. I mean, maybe the out of spec guys got to see a little bit more, but every time Skylar and I have been there, or I've been there with my wife Nikki, um, it's like the catwalk. Especially now that they've got the catwalk, it's the catwalk tour. But they don't let anybody in the paint area that isn't a worker, or it's not part of like a social media post, that is uh, due to um,
HIPAA or something?
health and safety, yeah, and then also just like cleanliness.
Oh,
They're not
How,
gonna let you in there.
hey Jimmy,
so that's cool.
how many times you been had a tour or been in the factory?
Me,
Yeah.
four
Dang, man.
four times.
Have you ever
Yeah.
been on the
So
you've
I've
been on the floor or you been on the floor before or
I've
no?
been in the floor on a golf cart in a
golf
golf
cart. Yep.
cart
Okay.
tour,
Cool.
two catwalk tours. Yeah, so two golf cart tours and two catwalk tours.
And
I've
have you
done
always
one of each.
and have you guys both seen it when it's all in motion? I've only
I've
seen it paused. That's why
Yeah.
I'm asking.
Yeah, I've seen from the golf cart, I've seen it in motion, and then from the catwalk, I've seen it in motion. Both catwalk tours was in motion. It was in motion,
Okay.
and then yeah, it's amazing. Like the the robot grabbing the top half of the truck and just like effortlessly moving it around
Yeah.
and slinging welds and sparks. Yeah.
So I've been to two of the friends and family events, and those they purposely do on Sundays when nobody's there, and
Hmm.
so
And that was our
yeah,
first tour.
they just paused.
Yeah. Yeah, because when we got invited to Skylar, when you, Kyle, and I, and then Nikki was there as well, got invited to the VIP first mile event there in Normal. Um, it was a Saturday. I want to say it was a Saturday or a Sunday.
It was on the weekend. Yeah.
And yeah, so it was closed, and we got the tour. But then the last
And
three
that was
times,
golf cart tour on
yeah,
the
golf
floor.
cart tour.
Yeah.
Yep,
Hmm.
yep.
Yeah,
But
when I got the tour when I got the access, they weren't even tours. They just you could walk around and see things, and like they had paths you could walk on. Like
hmm
there was the employee that like let you in or brought you in because it's a friends and family event. They were basically your guide. Like if they didn't know what they're looking at or what they're doing, then you didn't have any information. So like there's a lot of just looking around and seeing cool things, and some of it
Mm-hmm.
you knew what it was, and some of it you didn't.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely an interesting spot. I mean, the one thing that I took away from every time that I was there was how clean that floor was.
Mm-hmm.
Like almost eat off of it, like clean.
Yep.
For as big
Yep.
as that thing is, yeah, it's cool.
Yep.
Yep. This
And
is the first time when I've actually seen secret things. You know, like most of the time it's just the last few times are like Gen 2's been out for a while. I just saw
Yeah.
Gen 2 stuff, and so this is the first time there's been different things that
Mm-hmm.
that are on the line and things like that. And
Yeah.
but yeah, it's the first time I've seen cool things that I was like, oh, I haven't seen that before. You know, or like the tour took us on a different route than I've been with the friends and family events, and so I got to see different parts of the plant and stuff, and
Yeah.
that was cool. I thought that was cool.
Yep. Yeah. No, it's a cool spot for sure. Almost magical.
Hmm. And they had a lot of
yeah.
chargers out front. They had a lot of chargers out front. They're all the new Waypoint style ones, and they're full. Like every last charger out front was full, which is kind of surprising. Um, so it was kind of funny. We went and Eric drove a Model Y and to get us there for the delivery and all that. And we realized like you can charge at the plant. There's a bunch of chargers out front. We get there and there's not a single one open. And we're like,
Dang
well,
it.
so much for you getting free electrons. And we were just kind of waiting to get on our tour and all that stuff. And one of them freed up, and I told him when we went, we said we should park like right next to it in case you see one. And we were watching out the window, and sure enough, one opened up, and he was out there. He got his Model Y
Nice.
plugged in.
Nice.
They're
Yeah.
11
Well,
kilowatt. They're not bad.
yeah. When we were there, every time we've been there, which we haven't been there since October of 23, they were all the Clipper Creek
Yep.
that they used to have at
Yep.
the service centers.
Yep. They all ripped all those out in the last like
Yeah.
month and put these waypoints in.
Yeah. Nice. Saw the guy clean the alignment machine. Yeah. Hopefully. Hopefully. I think I made that comment in the last video that we did. Like alignments, that's just a given. I feel like every Rivian has needed alignment coming out of delivery.
I had two requests for this when I bought this vehicle to the sales team, and one was, do not put the front license plate bracket on. I don't want them drilling my bumper. That was
Yeah.
top of the list. Do not drill my bumper. And
Yeah.
then two, I want it aligned at the service center or whoever does the alignments that's not in the factory. Align it properly before I pick it up. I don't want it wobbling on the way home. And so it was perfect coming home. So I trust that they aligned it. I haven't noticed any alignment issues with it so far.
Nice.
Yeah. So, Chris, do you have to have a front plate in Indiana?
I do not. Which is going to be interesting because this thing is not going to be plated here.
Well, yep.
We'll see.
And Montana does, if I'm not mistaken.
They do. They absolutely do.
Good
So
for
we'll
you,
see.
buddy.
Well,
Godspeed, man.
I
Godspeed.
know. Good luck on you, right?
Yeah, Darren, the that rail yard is wild. They had just started doing that. I think Skylar, when you were picking up when you guys
Yes.
when you and Kyle were taking delivery of your S's, they were like maybe 2 or 3 weeks into
Rail transport.
rail
Yep.
transport, and that is a monster, dude. That whole process, I can't imagine.
They had cars waiting to go on the trains, and
Oh.
they had, and the funny thing is, like, we drive them through. I think Darren knows me. I was like, see that spot right there? That concrete, it looks new. You know why that is? That's where the freaking fire was. And they had replaced
Oh yeah.
all the concrete
Yeah.
where that fire that they had breakout was. So
Yeah.
because it broke out right in front of the rails where it broke out. And so
Yeah.
we're coming. Because they have to take you in a shuttle from. So when you go for a factory delivery, I didn't know this is how it worked, but you go in and you check in and say I'm here for delivery, and the delivery person is standing like 10, 15 feet from the front door, and they're like, oh, we're doing deliveries today, and blah blah, and they take you in a shuttle, an R1S, around back where the
Yep.
actual, I'm
Delivery
gonna call it
center
a
is.
space. Yeah, delivery center looks like a space.
Mm-hmm.
Inside of it is, and so yeah, we shuttled. I had a bunch of people from the area show up. Darren drove in from Wisconsin.
Very cool.
Oh
And so
wow.
yeah, and so side benefit is he got to have the factory tour too.
Yeah, that's
And
awesome.
so they drove. Some people came in. I drove 3 hours in, and then so there was like 6 or 7 of us or something like that. And so we took us 2 R1Ss to get around back. But yeah, the delivery center is really, it's beautiful in there. It's really nice. I
Yeah.
remember when I got there, it took me back to the original video when Skylar got his delivery, and
Oh yeah.
and it was in that same. It had to be that same spot. At least it looked like
Yep.
it when I
Yeah.
got there.
It was.
No, it
And
was.
so
Yep. One
yeah, and
hundred
so then I
percent.
got in there, and I checked ahead of time, and they said they had swag or merch in that area, and so I'm like, I'm gonna get some merch from there. I have it on. It's the top of my list. I gotta get some merch, like as a memory from being here. And so and like so like I saw my car and all that stuff, and then I went and like, do you have any of those like uh the shirts like they have in Spaces where it says keep city adventures forever? I think Jimmy got the Miami one.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yeah,
Skylar, you
Skyler's
have the
got the
Austin.
awesome one. Yep.
Austin one, yeah. I have Austin. I do have Miami too. And then so I bought the normal, keep normal adventures. I'm
Nice.
like, this is the only place you're gonna get it, right? So,
Yep.
so got that one, and then they had left me a bunch of swag in a bag inside. I think I'm gonna give away some of it.
Very
At
cool.
least the Gear Guard Gary. I already had a Gear Guard Gary, and they gave me one, so I'm gonna probably give that away. Um,
Nice.
but yeah, they gave me a bag of swag. Most of it like was things that they actually must know I use, or they sent me a message on X saying, we left you a bag of stuff. It's like, thank you, thanks. And
Yeah.
so they had the right size of shirt in there. That was when I knew it. Like they must be really paying attention. So
I've said from the beginning they've got dossiers on all of us. Like they do their homework for sure.
yeah, they had. I mean, it wasn't like I'm not like a person that wears a large or an XL. I'm a double X. So like
Yeah.
there was a double X in the bag, and so they
Yeah.
clearly know what size I wear. But I'm usually also telling people on social media, like if you're going to a new space opening, and they're giving away shirts, get me one in double XL. I always say, because I've been trying to get as many of the different spaces opening shirts, and so
Mm-hmm.
I probably have 7 or 8 of them, maybe 9 or 10 different spaces now. I actually have the Portland Rivian
Oh,
Club
you get
shirt
the
on tonight.
Portland Raven Club shirt. Nice.
Yeah, yeah. So
That
I love
that
it when
smells
people
that
send me
smells
stuff.
like Terry. That's a Terry thing. It's got to be
It
from
is a
Terry.
Terry thing, absolutely a
That
Terry thing.
guy. That guy's fantastic.
He sent me the
Terry
Portland,
hasn't sent
Oregon
me
one.
one. Damn it. Bruce
Terry.
hasn't either.
Well, we'll fix that. We'll fix that. Terry is Terry and Bruce both are amazing people,
Yeah.
but Terry's awesome.
So yeah. So if you go to a space and they're giving away shirts, give me a double XL. I'll pay you to ship it or whatever, and I'll take it.
No,
So, but
that's
yeah,
exciting.
it's funny is like I'm getting like a pattern now. Like there are a bunch of different, like some of them are the same colors between
Hmm.
the different areas and stuff. But
Yeah,
yeah. So anyways, I got a shirt, got some merch and stuff, and that's cool. They
yeah.
won't let you drive it out of there either. They will not. They like shuttled me in my own truck around front again, and then I could pull away. I did take your guys' advice, and I ordered a frame for the Monroney.
Monroney. Yep.
Yeah, and like the one they gave me, it was that like, if I posted a video, but it was stuck to the window. They actually had one stuck to the window. I'm like, I don't want that one. I want like a pristine one. And so we waited while they printed me a new one around front that's not been touched.
Nice.
Yeah, so I actually have two
Nice.
Monronis. I have the one that was stuck to the window, and then the one they printed me. So I'll
Oh
put
yeah.
the one they
No.
printed me up in a
Oh yeah.
in the thing. So
Yeah. Mine was in a big old Monroney Ziploc bag
okay.
in the frunk.
Yeah,
And Skylar got to drive his R1S out of the delivery center.
oh man.
You're not going to brag about that one, Skylar? No.
Well, no. But
Man, you should have bragged about it.
the track is no longer there.
No, it's
And
not.
I did get to drive my Rivian on the track. However, I haven't shared this with too many people, but they had lane keep assist on, and it will try to keep your lane at or over 100 miles an hour. So it like jerks a little bit. That was bad. I was like, I at first I was like, this thing's a little sketchy up in higher speeds, and then I later realized that it was because the damn lane keep assist was on, because I was driving it, yeah, and there, yeah,
Spiritedly.
yes,
I did. So when I did leave, we went to EV guy Zach's Heartland Community College because
Oh, very cool. Yeah.
they have a whole EV program. It's awesome. Whole separate topic on that. But so we caravanned over there. So it was Zach drove his. He had a Bolt. He's a Bolt EUV. Darren's got a Prius. Sorry, Darren. I rag on Priuses all the time. And then it was me, and then Dark Out Fans Josh was in his R1S behind me, and so we went there, and I'm like, we literally pulled out on, I can't remember what street that is running in front of the factory, but I sent it. I did full sends all the way. And
Nice.
I got caught. I mean, Josh saw me do it. And then we pulled a stop sign. There was a semi truck driver there, and that time I put in like I know that I mentioned our video that's going to upload later that I noticed all-purpose mode has definitely some, I'm gonna say, lag to it. It does not have the pickup that Sport has on the Trimax. And so like when I first did my first, actually hammering on it, I was like, this doesn't feel right. It feels a little slow. And so I put it in Sport, and man, it is an animal in Sport, let me tell you. And so then I pulled it up to a stop sign, and then there was a semi truck driver, and Josh got to watch him watch me as I freaking hammered it. And it spun the wheels. This thing is absolutely insane when you really hammer it, especially if you put it in launch mode. It'll spin the wheels, and it'll spin the wheels when you're in motion. So like I was going like 20 at I'm gonna say roll, but 20 is not a roll, and I hammered it, and it still spun the wheels. It's got a lot. It is a lot of vehicle. It has got some
yeah,
kick to it.
Yeah.
no, I mean it. Granted, the Gen 1 quads have over 900 pound-feet of torque, but what is the Tri? Is it like 1025?
1100.
Does that sound right? 1100
pounds.
pound-feet of torque?
Yes.
Jeez. Yeah.
That's where you can tell it. Like you can feel it more than in the Trimax than you can in the original quad. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Wild.
Well, even the original quad though, you don't get full power unless you're in sport and lowest suspension. But so all purpose is more tame. That to me is crazy. That ought to be a software tuning thing that they should fix, because if they're giving, let's just say they're giving demo drives in all purpose, and I mean you still want it to have some juice, maybe not quite the violence of a
violence.
Yeah. Of a sport mode launch, but still show people the veins.
I love it, man. It is fun. It is fun.
Not like that, Jimmy.
Hey, you said it.
Oh, dude. And actually, I'm getting text messages from a buddy of mine that I didn't know ever watches our live stream, but I've been texting with him over on the side, and he's got a picture of me like this, and he was like, "Are you multitasking?" Like, anyway, kind of funny.
I cannot multitask. I'm on my phone, so I can't multitask.
Yeah, well, you can
on my car.
You can tell when I am because my camera is on my MacBook, like right in front of me. But then
Mm-hmm.
I've got the two big monitors, and so like they're close enough to where it's a significant head turn to be looking at the other monitors. So
Yeah,
whatever.
same for me. Same for me. I was getting our recording downloaded and put up that way. I didn't have to mess with it tomorrow. Um, I'm gonna
Oh, I would tell you
go
one
ahead.
other thing if we don't have a topic. When we went to Heartland Community College, we got to see the Max pack. That was cool.
The Max
Like
Max Pack,
The
the OG
the
Max. Yeah,
the real Max
on
pack. The real Max pack was cool.
yeah.
the 180 kilowatt hour that had a
Had the
module
hump.
stacked, one or two. But anyway,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, that was cool. That was.
additional.
I was like, just go
Yeah,
ahead and set my truck on top of it. Like, give me the extra.
Logan says yes, and Stephanie beat me to it. But Logan
Max
says the
Plus.
Max Pro, and then Stephanie's Max
Max
Plus.
Plus. Yeah, yeah. That would have been a great truck.
Speaking of Plus, this thing has like the 60-day trial for the Connect Plus. Guess I'm getting another Connect Plus subscription. I'm a dual Connect Plus subscription household soon.
Yeah,
$300 a year in that. Do you pay? You guys both pay for it, right? The Connect Plus.
I pay for
Nope,
it.
Skylar does not.
Skylar does not. I do.
Yeah,
that's right.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Connect minus, dude. I ever since Fam Camp, I want freaking Android Auto so bad. I
Get the
mean,
EV Play. Get the EV Play
Get
thing.
that ridiculously
dude.
expensive EV Play.
I
I'm gonna
mean,
get him one. I'm getting him one. I'm getting him one. He's
that's
gonna have it.
that's not crazy. But yeah, no, I think that'd be super cool. I still think Rivian should do it because you could still access all of their native software and just have it as an app, and they totally need to do that. But whatever.
I would change. The only reason why I would change my tune from previous would be for OnX off road. Like, as much as I use OnX when we disappear into the woods for days at a time, like the ability to OnX natively on the head unit on the main display would be amazing compared to having to have a second device that's got it pulled up.
Yeah, but good texting, using your
Sure.
assistant of choice, like everything integrated, actually not needing external connectivity when you've already got the connectivity of your phone. Like there's all of your contacts, like that's a pet peeve for me, right? I don't use the phone app on the Rivian because I have contacts back from like 2000 or early 2000s, right?
Mm-hmm. Same. Yeah.
And it takes like 5 minutes for the Rivian to load all my damn contacts every
Yeah.
time I get in the car. And that's just annoying.
Excuse me. Yeah. No, I get it. And totally,
Uh-oh.
Logan. They should bake the. They could easily bake OnX into the main display because they also use. They use the same map box. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here. There's another comment. I don't know if we have
Well,
time to
and
just go ahead.
well, no, I wanted to address Stephanie's comment there that it kind of spoils the whole software venture with VW, but it really doesn't because that is the overall architecture and common kind of processors and the real-time software that runs the entire car. It's not just the infotainment, right?
Right.
And what is Chris doing over there?
I don't know what Chris is doing.
I was looking at like I started realizing I have a ton of gear guard footage, and then I was like, why do I have so much gear guard footage? And it's because I parked it at Costco
Yeah,
on a
that'll
Sunday.
that'll
Uh,
that'll do it. That'll
I'm
do
like,
it.
holy crap, I've got a ton of footage. I was scrolling through them, just checking them out. Um, no, it's been fun.
Do we want uh I may butcher your name. No, James, Jamie's. I apologize. Do we want to touch this?
Oh, no.
Noe? No. I'm gonna go with no. Thumbs up if it's no, or thumbs down if it's not.
I don't believe it's going to impact Rivian at all, right? Like it reverts to the old bill, and so Rivian doesn't have more than
Noe. Nice.
doesn't have more than
Yeah.
two hundred
No.
thousand vehicles made. So Rivian would be actually benefit from it. Tesla was the one that gets screwed, and GM.
Yeah. And Ford.
I think Ford too. Yep. So Lucid and Rivian would be the two that really got benefits.
Oh my goodness. I have not been following all the political stuff, but I was not aware that a new bill passed the House. I need to read up on that, see what
Yeah.
the deal
So,
is.
but now, correct me if I'm wrong, though, Chris. That the Amazon vehicles uh, account that's part of the total number.
It might be.
Yeah. Um. Nice, Mark. Yeah. So, I mean, Rivian still has to be getting close. It probably won't be until R2 that they definitely hit they hit that number, and then it does go away. I think they're close ish. No, no one.
I
I'd have looked
I
at
don't
the
have
math.
any idea.
Yeah,
Someone could do the math. Someone could do the math and figure out how many they've made.
yeah,
They have a hood that's been or multiple hoods that have been in the factory that say 100,000 vehicles. So that happened a long time back. So have they made their 200,000? I don't think they have.
yeah,
Okay. So Darren says should be 168 by the end of 2025.
yeah,
So that would help R2 certainly if the first batch are not battery dependent because the batteries will be imported from South Korea
hmm
because the Arizona
yeah.
was it
The LG, yeah,
Queens Creek LG location won't be online
right,
soon enough for them to get cells and packs out of there. So they're coming from South Korea for 2026 at least.
yeah. But again, the old bill wasn't dependent on
Yeah, battery composition
battery or
or
any of the other,
sourcing.
100% American
Yep,
made,
yep.
yada yada yada. Yeah. No, you're not wrong, John. I mean, those last 32K are going to go quick, especially once R2 comes online. I mean, you're talking you could potentially be talking about like halfway through the second quarter if they were to start delivering R2 Q1, 32,000 vehicles would go extremely fast.
Yep. And I think there will be some level of fear at some point too, right? Saying, okay, the credit's going to go away for Rivian in the next
Mm-hmm.
3 6 months, and there's going to be people that like, I better buy now, or I'm not gonna get the credit.
Right.
That
Oh, there's a
certainly did play into my decision a little bit, right? Like I can get this Dune right now with for 7,500 off,
mm-hmm.
for certain, 100%, right? I'm getting the 7,500, and not knowing there's that they were going to do it by year end. I thought maybe they pull the trigger sooner, but
Yeah.
it definitely was a factor in deciding for me to buy right now.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So John, pre-orders last that Rivian had posted, pre-orders were over 100K, and that was a while ago. That they had over 100,000 pre-orders for R2. Obviously, the take rate is going to be well under that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Um, but I think the take rate still could be better than 32%.
I,
Um,
I'm
it's but
struggling with. They haven't announced the true pricing of what the
they
dual
haven't.
motor all wheel drive,
No,
right? The dual motor all wheel drive is most likely what they're going to launch,
right.
just because that is the sweet spot of demand.
Yeah.
And so they have announced what that price is. There could be a similar to what happened when Rivian attempted to raise prices on pre-orders, where like right they went up 25% and everyone like holy shit and everyone canceled, right? Like half the people
Hmm.
canceled, some ridiculous number of people canceled. Same thing could happen with R2 as they come out and say, okay, R2 is going to start at $70,000 for the all-wheel drive, and everyone's like, well, I'm out, you know. So we could see that could definitely the take rate is going to be it could be anywhere. It could be anywhere from
Yeah.
10% to what you're saying, like 30, 40%. We'll see.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. I could see a take rate. I could see a higher take rate if they keep the price manageable.
It also has to have a feature set that people want, right? Like eyes free, right? That needs to be one of the major selling points, I'd say. Eyes free driving. Um,
Depending on, sorry to interrupt, but that I think that would be dependent on uh, whether you're a first time. That feature set will be dependent on if you're a first time EV owner or not.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like somebody that's brand new to a vehicle that can do some of the crap that our vehicles can do, they're not gonna go straight into. That's not going to be something that is going to be that they're going to be dependent on. And
yeah.
maybe I'm off, but you know, people ask me all the time, can even my Gen 1, like because surprisingly we have a lot of mapped roads in the greater Jacksonville area. I-10, 295, I-95, and some of our larger state roads are all mapped. So I can do a lot of not hands-free, but you know, uh, level 2 autonomy. Um, and they're blown away by that. They, I can't imagine those people being ones that jump straight into hands-free driving.
All right, guys, it's past my bedtime.
Is that what you were waiting on? You were waiting on a lull, Skylar?
You're boring me to death, Jimmy.
Dang, man. All right, fine.
But no, it's been an hour.
Yeah, it has. It has. It
We
has.
we need more fun stuff to talk about next time for sure.
Fine. What's that going to be?
Yes.
I see what you did there.
I'll
Mm-hmm.
put my kids in here and I'll send it with the live session on.
There you go.
You can hear
There
the
you go.
wheels. Hear the wheels. What'll be louder, the wheels or my kids screaming? We'll try that.
Yeah. That's awesome.
It's definitely the kids.
It could be me.
Yeah. Yes. Well, thanks for hanging out, guys. And everybody that
Yeah.
is still on after an hour, almost an hour. Yeah, and congrats again, Chris. I've told you like
Fun.
5 times congrats, but congrats.
I finally did it. I thought it was gonna take me a year.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got the Dune.
Yeah,
I
agreed.
told you that's what you needed to do, and I knew that it could be made to happen. So
Yes. Yeah.
that
Yeah.
that is awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very cool. All right, till next time.
All right, good
Yeah.
night, fellas.
Night.
Bye.